Hello and welcome to episode number 13 of Super Califanilistic with me, Christian Rauchwald. Today we're going to talk about the 7 differences between poor people and rich people. And if you change those things to do the same things as rich people do, you have a way bigger chance of also becoming rich. As said, my name is Christian Rauchwald. In this podcast, I'm also documenting my journey on building a $1 million company from scratch. Every Sunday, you can hear my progress report, or in each Sunday's episode, you can hear my progress report. And the rest of the week, I'm focusing on giving you value, teaching you things that I've learned in my 15 plus years experience in e-commerce and online marketing. So let's get right to it. The first difference between rich people and poor people is poor people spend time, rich people invest time. What does that mean? Very simple. Poor people get home from their day jobs and spend time watching TV. So the time they have available, they spend, While rich people maybe get home from the office, or maybe they work at home and are done with their work, and then they invest the time into educating themselves by reading books, watching educational videos like tutorials of things they need to know and stuff like that, which is one of the reasons why poor people stay poor, because they do not put in the effort to learn new things, to grow personally, to acquire new skills. And rich people become richer because they constantly try to improve themselves. They every day try to be a better version of themselves, of how they've been yesterday. So another thing, the next thing, it's really a big thing actually, is poor people usually end up blaming others for things that go wrong, and rich people take responsibility, which means when somebody loses his job as a employee, usually a poor person would simply blame others. It's the co-worker's fault, the boss's fault, the client's fault. It's not their fault that they lost their job, somebody else's fault. Sometimes this may be true, because as an employee, if the manager of the company or the CEO is really not capable of running that business, he may be responsible of ruining the company. But in most cases, it's not somebody else's fault, it's your fault. It's your life, you take action, you have to deal with the consequences. Whatever you do, you have to take responsibility. Poor people usually don't do that. Rich people do. They take responsibility. Everything I do, I know the hours I put in for myself. I know when I do something and it backfires or it doesn't work, I think about why did it go wrong? Why is it not working? I take responsibility. I know it's mostly my fault or something I didn't consider, something I did do wrong, and I try to learn from it. And that's the biggest aspect. The moment you start taking responsibility, you also start looking for the reason, and so you will not make the same mistake again. If you just blame others all the time, you will not look for responsibility or for the reason, because you already know it's not your fault, it's somebody else's fault, so why should you change? It's really a big difference between poor and rich people, and once you start taking responsibility for your life will improve drastically. Which brings us to point number 3, a huge difference between rich people mindset and poor people mindset. Poor people focus on saving. It's a penny saved is a penny earned, which theoretically is true, but actually, Dan Locke is saying, a penny saved is still just a fucking penny. The point is not in saving a penny. Rich people focus on investing instead of in saving. So instead of trying to have the penny on the bank account, they make that penny work. They invest it in real estate, in funds, in stocks, in something that brings them money, in their next business deal, so that they put that penny in and get 2 pennies out, or they put $1 in and get $1.30 out. And it may take some time, but the point is, rich people focus on investing to build up a passive income, while poor people focus on saving. And that's a huge difference. As long as you're just trying to save, you will never get rich. You may accumulate more money on your bank account, but if you consider inflation, how much everything gets more expensive over time, meaning how much your money loses in value, you actually don't move. You have more cash in your hand, but you cannot buy more with it. It's really, really an important thing to understand how money works. If you don't know how money works, you will never master it. You will never accumulate it. And if you ever get it to have a lot of money, you will not keep it because you don't know how it works. You will lose it very fast. Yeah. Another big difference between poor people and rich people: poor people get paid for their time. Poor people love the security or the false security a job provides them. They get paid a couple of dollars for an hour they spent at some place, and where somebody hopes or expects them to get some work done. But everybody knows that like at least 2/3 of the working time are spent with chatting, serving, or anything else. So only 1/3 of the paid time of an employee is actually productive. That's why poor people get paid for time, rich people get paid for results. I take on contracts where I have to create a website or something, and only once that website is delivered as by the agreed upon specifications, I get a certain amount of money. Now, if I'm capable of delivering these results in a day, I have an amazing hourly rate. If it takes me 2 months to actually get everything done, I have a horrible hourly rate. A poor person, for them it doesn't matter. If they work 2 months, they are present at the office 2 months. It doesn't mean that they're productive 2 months. They still get their 2 paychecks. If they don't produce any results over a long period of time, obviously they will get fired, yeah? But still they get paid for time. So in order to become rich, you need to find a way to get paid for results instead of getting paid for your time. The easiest way, if you're currently in a job, put in the extra effort and start building your side business. Yeah. Another like big issue or big difference between poor people and rich people is actually point number 6. For poor people, money is the root of all evil. They blame money, like if they would have more money, life would be better. And rich people are so evil because they don't give them money and stuff like that, yeah. Rich people consider poverty the root of all evil. If there would be no poverty, if people would put in the effort to make a little bit more money so they are not poor anymore, there would be no evil. Consider like most of the crimes, robberies, murders and all that stuff, like most of the relationships that break up, it's usually because of money. Yeah, if in a relationship there are money problems over a short or longer period of time, if one person is like more, how to say, goal driven in the relationship and wants to do something with his life, and the other person is just lazy and really like has a poor person's mindset, the relationship will end because of the lack of money, not the lack of love. Yeah, and that applies everywhere in life. If you consider like robberies on the street, yeah, if the guy who robs the purse of a lady wouldn't be poor, wouldn't desperately need the money, and would use his brain to find a way to earn the money he needs, yeah, then he wouldn't commit that robbery, and so on. So rich people know this and therefore see that poverty is the root of all evil. Poor people say money is the root of all evil, yeah. So, but then it's actually curious, if you say money is the root of all evil, how come that all the poor people wish to be rich, yeah? So, and that actually already brings us to the last point. It's going to be a very short video today. I'm really glad about it because it's almost 1 a.m. in the morning here already. I had a long day. The biggest difference, or one of the biggest difference between poor people and rich people is like poor people have a lottery mindset. They believe in like luck. They buy lottery tickets almost every week and then they dream of what they will do in 2 days when they win the lottery, and then they don't win and they're disappointed for a couple of hours, and the next day they buy the new ticket and they have their hope again. Yeah. So poor people have wishes, like they want to have a bigger house, they want to have a nicer car or something like that, or better vacation or better hourly rates or whatever. Yeah. But instead of like doing something, they just have, it's wishes, it's not goals, it's a wish, it's like a dream, it's like maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't, and they simply usually they for example they blame God or something. There's also, if you look at religion, yeah, usually in poor countries with a lot of poor people, there are the people are way more religious, yeah, because it's easier to simply hope that God will make sure that they are rich or that they have a better job or something than actually putting in some effort. So poor people usually have a lottery mindset. Rich people have an action mindset, which means like if they want something, they take action. They plan it, they visualize it, and then they go for it. They put in the effort. Yeah. So if you really, really want to be rich or have more money or have your dream house or something like that, yeah, that's what you need to do. Like you need to change those poor people behaviors into rich people behaviors. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but it's definitely possible. Yeah. And once you've managed to switch from getting home and watching Netflix to reading books and like learning something new, training your mindset, yeah, expanding your horizon, taking responsibility for your action instead of blaming others, focusing on investing the money that you have left over instead of just saving it. Yeah. Find a way to get paid for results, again, maybe by starting your side business, and realize that poverty is actually the problem and not money, so the root of all evil, and become an action taker instead of like just hoping for the best result. Once you do all of this, you're on the best course to actually become financially free, to become your own boss, to decide for yourself when to get up in the morning, how many hours you work, and so on. Yeah. That's basically it for today. I'm curious about what you think about this. Yeah. Like how many of you, for example, have a Netflix subscription? Well, maybe consider canceling it. Yeah? Every hour you spend in front of Netflix will not get you any closer to where you want to go. Every hour you spend reading a like good book like Napoleon Hill's Think and Get Rich, or Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad, or Tim Ferriss the 4-hour work week or something like that. Every hour you spend reading something like that will show you ways on how to conquer your goals. Every hour in front of Netflix will only show you nothing, like entertain your brain but not get you anywhere. Yeah. So that said, I'm curious, like maybe for some of you, hopefully this video is the wake-up call that finally opened your eyes to what you need to change in order to conquer your goals. And never forget, once you've reached that point in your life where you're really, really like fulfilled, yeah, of course you can go back and watch Netflix and you don't have to worry again. The moment you are able to earn money while you sleep, you can do whatever you want and you don't have to worry about paying your rent, or if you can book the nice hotel in the next vacation or have to stay at a hostel. Yeah. So that's it. Have a great day. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. And hope to see you tomorrow again, a little bit better rested, with my next video. Bye bye.